Hello everyone, Atram here, and we are doing, or I am doing, a Khans of Tarkir Draft. So our rare is Temur Ascendancy, which is an interesting one. Might be worth trying. Arc Lightning can be very powerful though. And it leaves us open. Ride Down's very nice. Dazzling Ramparts is good. I think the pick is between Temur Ascendancy and Arc Lightning, and I'm opting to stay open, so I'm going to take the Arc Lightning. A Master of Pearls. Master of Pearls is insane if played in a deck with like any reasonable amount of creatures. So yeah, I'm pretty certain I'm picking that guy. Burn Away is a nice spell too, but I think we're going with the Master of Pearls. Other noteworthy cards: Noink Bondkin, Glacial Stalker, Swiftwater Cliffs. So, yeah. Of those, though, Master of Pearls definitely wins out. Now, if I want to commit to Jeskai, there's a Jeskai Wind Scout here. Otherwise, I could take, like, Watcher of the Roost, which I actually really like. Master of the Way commits us to Jeskai. I think it's going to be Watcher of the Roost. Yeah, I think Watcher of the Roost is a good one. Alright. We could grab a Bring Low here for a piece of removal. We could grab Howl the Horde if we want to try something weird. Which, Howl the Horde is very powerful if done right, but it's just strange sometimes. Could be good, though. I think, though, I'm going to take Bring Low and just kind of play it safe. Alright, Winterflame is a potentially reasonable reason to go into Jeskai. Because there's no real card here that I'd prefer, I think. So I think Winterflame's going to be the pick here. It's either that or Mystic of the Hidden Way, but either way, we're going into Jeskai. So we'll take Winterflame. And we'll get another Winterflame back-to-back with it, and that'll be good for us. I can grab a Bloodfire Expert as a creature with prowess. Or I could grab a Dragon's Eye Savant, but I think we're going to grab a Bloodfire Expert. So far we have 3 creatures and a slew of spells. I'm going to move everything actually over instead of keeping it in CMC. I'm going to keep it by CMC, but I'm going to move everything over so that way we can see creatures versus spells. So we're going to run it in 2 piles here. I know this is weird, but I think it'll help us to get a grasp of where things are lying on the marks. So I'm going to grab the Set Adrift, which it correctly set all the way over there. That's nice. Alright, another Bring Low. Alright, so far this is reasonable. We gotta pick up more creatures, obviously, but now we've decided where we are going with this draft, so we can actually focus our picks to pick things that'll go well with it. Let's see who all's in our draft. Me, Toucan Sam, B Paris. I'll grab a Glacial Stalker. Tub, SBL, Louis Bat, Strider, Sixorath, and CJT Raxla. Okay, whatever. Glacial Stalker will come over and sit in this group over here. Singing Bell Strike gets to jump over to here. So actually Glacial Stalker goes 4, 5, 6. So Glacial Stalker sits over there. Alright. Quiet Contemplation could be interesting in this deck, actually. because my goal is going to be to remove my opponent's blockers, so it's an option. Act of Treason, don't know about. Another Quiet Contemplation. So we have a billion non-creature spells and very few actual creatures right now, so we're going to have to watch out for that in this next pack. Interesting. And we get a plains. Alright, we'll drag the plains over there. So let's see what we get in our next pack here. We get a Polluted Delta. It's worth enough tickets that I'm going to take it. What else do we have here? Murderous Cut, which is great, but it's not in our colors. Raider Spoils, Roar. A Leaping Master would be reasonable. But there's a Tranquil Cove for fixing purposes, or a Skuldkin. I'm definitely taking the Polluted Delta. Okay, I can pick up a Suspension Field, or I could pick up like a Horde Chief. But I think I want the Suspension Field, which makes it awkward because we still only have 4 creatures. But I think Suspension Field is just worth having. I doubt we'll play both Quiet Contemplations. Maybe we'll play one. It's hard to say. But I doubt we want both, unless for some reason we end up with like double Goblin Slide as well, which I think we passed one Goblin Slide earlier. So, Oh, Jeskai Charm? That's really good. So is Warden of the Eye for us. Jeskai Charm or Warden of the Eye? I feel like Warden's more likely to wheel than Jeskai Charm, so I'm going to grab the Jeskai Charm. We'll stick it over here. Okay, we can pick up some fixing or like a little dumb creature. But I think I'd rather have some fixing. I'm going to stick it over there for right now. This is awkward the way I'm organizing this right now, but I think it helps me see where I have stuff and where I'm missing stuff. So like I need to take a Bloodfire Expert over a Crippling Chill because I have removal effects, but I don't have any creatures to properly utilize my removal effects right now. So Alright, what do we got here? I'm really not a fan of Valley Dasher, so I guess we have Summit Prowler? I guess worst case it's a dude. Okay, this is a deck where we actually want something like Whirlwind Adept because we're going to be knocking out our opponent's blockers, and then the Whirlwind Adept's going to come in and basically kick our opponent's butt after we've knocked out the blockers. I'll take a Leaping Master here. And another Leaping Master. Actually, no. I'm going to take a Skull. No, actually, I think this is a Leaping Master. Alright, Annoying Tracker's fine. And we'll throw a Force in the board. So, worth noting, the Warden did not come back, so someone else is definitely in Jeskai. Or they just took it, for some reason. Okay, gives us another guy. Obviously, we'll want to cut some of these bad creatures back eventually. Eventually. Alright, we Fate. Could actually be playable in this deck. I don't need a banner. And that. Alright. There is very little that we want in this. Maybe a treasure cruise, but probably actually just an alabaster Kirin as another creature. Interestingly enough, we're actually almost just blue-red with just a splash of white, although Master of Pearls obviously requires 2 white for his effect. But I think this is definitely worth picking up over... I mean, Treasure Cruise is good, but I think this is worth picking up. Okay, a Falconer's pretty solid. Gives us another creature that gets flying and invasion, you know? So I can probably cut this Woodland Sandbar. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stick this back over there so I know I have 1 land. Technically, this would go right there. Okay, another Jeskai Charm. Or a Windscarred Crag. It's always that question of fixing or powerful spell. And I think I need both. I really do need both. Awkward. I think I'm going to take the Jeskai Charm. Which means I can probably shove that over. Okay, that's a fine pickup. Ah, good. We did want 1 Warden at the very least. So we'll have to make more cuts here. Deflecting Palm's fine. Or a Scaldkin. Might actually just be a Scaldkin. Yeah, it's actually probably just a Scaldkin. I can cut the Summit Prowler. Oh. Over the other Scaldkin, I'll take a mana this time. Okay, a Force Away is good. So, what can we start to cut from this pile? Probably Weave Fate. Let's see, we're at 25, so we'll cut for 1 from that pile, 1 from this pile. Might be the Tracker. It's hard to say. I really don't want to cut one of the creatures right now. Grab a Savant. That one I can cut. I actually want another Leaping Master because it gives me another early creature that can gain the ability to be useful late game. Well, I don't really need any of these, but we'll grab and stick a Trumpet Blast in the sideboard. 14 creatures I feel is where I want to be, so the main cuts are going to have to come from over here. Sure, whatever. And whatever. And whatever. Okay. So, we have to cut 3 cards to get to 17 lands. Singing Bell Strike's only a temporary removal, so we can get rid of that. Force Away. How often are we going to be triggering Force Away's extra added benefit off of these Bloodfire Experts? Probably off the Falconer after a little bit. Off the Whirlwind Adept. And off the Glacial Stalker. So it's actually probably worth having. Plus it's a nice tempo-y thing that can just make your opponent... It can throw your opponent off balance. So, I'm probably going to cut Aerostorm. And then I will cut... one Bringlow, maybe? No, I like the Bringlows. Maybe I'll go to 13 creatures and cut this annoying tracker. Yeah, because you can't run 16 lands in this format. This format is either 17 or 18 lands, and I think this deck is a 17 land deck. Question is, what am I cutting? Am I cutting a creature or am I cutting a spell? The spells I have are all very powerful. So I think I'm going to cut a creature, actually, at which point I'm probably going to cut this annoying tracker and go with it like this. So Moto is suggesting a 6-5-4 split. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 red symbols. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11 technically. Technically 11, but if you count each of those as a separate symbol. But since they're not in the casting cost and the creature can still work fine without them, I'm going to count them each as like a half symbol. So it was 6, 7, 8. I'll say we have, for the purposes of consideration, 10 white symbols. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blue symbols. So our blue should be even to our white. And our red should be above the others, which, based on what they say, that's right. And then if you look at this, if this is actually even properly compensating for the fact that both of these lands produce blue, but they don't each produce these colors. So I think that their choice is actually right, which is surprising at times, but other times I found it actually is pretty solid. So we'll submit with this, and I'll see you all in round 1.